Autoline Daily is brought to you by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Here are today's top headlines. Toyota comes out swinging against its critics. Car sales in China surge spectacularly. And a price war could be breaking out in the American market. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Tuesday, March 9th, 2010, and now the news. In a well-publicized webcast, Toyota refuted Professor Dave Gilbert's test that showed how he could induce unintended acceleration in the company's cars. Toyota brought in experts from Stanford University, a testing company called Exponent, as well as its own electronic experts. Toyota charged that Professor Gilbert's test rewired the car's throttle system, and that could not happen in the real world. It also said it has not found any deterioration or corrosion that Professor Gilbert says could cause unintended acceleration in Toyotas. It also demonstrated how the same test would cause the same results in cars from other automakers. Toyota also showed how ABC News had edited its coverage of Professor Gilbert's test, using a shot of a tachometer that quickly hit red line to show how dangerous this test could be. But Toyota pointed out that the video clip was shot while the car was in park and not moving. ABC News admitted it used that clip, but it only admitted that on its website, not on its nightly broadcast. Interestingly, in last night's update, ABC News pulled the journalist who originally broke the story, Brian Ross, and had David Muir fill in instead. But Toyota's problems are far from over. The Detroit Free Press reports that two top executives, Yoshimi Inaba and Jim Lentz, have been ordered to appear in court in Troy, Michigan, in a lawsuit involving a fatality with alleged unintended acceleration in a Toyota Camry. The Associated Press says there are now 81 class action lawsuits against Toyota, which could cost the company over $3 billion, and that does not even include wrongful death and injury lawsuits. While car sales slowly recover here in the U.S., they're booming in Asia. The Wall Street Journal reports that sales in India jumped 33% last month to over 150,000 units. Experts say there is a lot of pent-up demand and low interest rate loans are available, which is helping sales. Meanwhile, in China, passenger car sales were up an eye-popping 55% last month. The AP reports sales hit 943,000 units, thanks to a strong economy and government incentives for vehicles. And speaking of China and car incentives, Gasgoo reports the government is getting ready to offer a new subsidy for electric vehicles. It plans to offer as much as $9,000 towards the purchase of an electric car. The government wants to encourage consumers to buy alternative energy vehicles and says it would be difficult for citizens to buy them without subsidies because of the higher cost of EVs. The Detroit Free Press reports that the California Air Resources Board is finalizing its Cool Cars law that would require vehicles to have a special film on their windows to reflect solar energy, keeping the interiors cooler, reducing air conditioning use to save fuel, and, importantly, to lower CO2 emissions. But the rules have law enforcement groups and other organizations in the state worried. They're concerned that the glazing can reduce cell phone reception, hampering 911 calls, and also degrading signals from the ankle bracelets worn by convicted felons. And as incredible as it sounds, the top three automakers in the American market are getting into something of a price war. Toyota and GM started offering 0% financing and special lease rates on select models to lure shoppers into their showrooms, and now Ford is following suit. You know, it wasn't supposed to work this way. With so much excess capacity closed down and with sales still very weak, a price war is about the last thing these car companies need right now. Coming up next, we'll take a look at Visteon technology that connects your car to the internet. They used to call it telematics, now they call it the connected car. It's all about making your car a lot more intelligent in all kinds of ways, and the latest move is to connect cars to the internet. Mike Eichbrecht from Visteons explains.
And some of the features you can do once you have internet connectivity is internet radio. And right now Pandora is one of the more popular internet radios in the US. So we worked with Pandora, created an automotive interface for their application. Larger buttons, nicely spaced, easy to use. You can link it to the same account that you would have on your cell phone or on the computer, and then bring that right into the vehicle and have a pretty good seamless user experience and use the car's sound system instead of trying to play it off your phone.
You can also use it for navigation. Visteons created an automotive interface with Google Maps, similar to what you'd see on the computer, but it was also able to add a helpful feature.
Now we were able to enhance this a little bit with the traffic camera. So we work with Traffic Land, which is a camera distributor for the Department of Transportations in the US, and they geocoded all the cameras. So what I can do is I can look at my traffic and I can see here on 275 South, it's green, but 275 North of here, it's not showing green. So it's showing some level of congestion. So I can bring up the traffic camera and quickly take a look at it and see that the roads are actually pretty clear. So that traffic data is actually, could be 10 minutes, could be 30 minutes old, where this picture is taken no more than 15 seconds ago from the actual traffic camera monitoring that. So just a way of enhancing the navigation system.
You're also able to download and install applications.
Another thing that we've put on here is a little apps area where we can install applications. And there is a way of downloading third-party applications similar to an iTunes or an App Store or a Google Marketplace. We've put applications on here such as Skype. So we've taken Skype, we've created an automotive interface for Skype so I can make these voice over IP calls while I'm in the car. It's particularly useful if I have to call internationally. I don't have an international plan on my cell phone.
Not only can the system do all that stuff on the internet, it can drive multiple displays and features from just one platform, and that makes it easier for engineers to package things in the interior of a vehicle. And that is it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.